Hi, it's Maureen, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from the United States, and welcome back to my channel. I live in the state of New Jersey in the United States, and this is our April Stampin' Around the World video hop. This month's theme is a sketch challenge. Now with this theme, you get to see this theme presented by a lot of different demonstrators from around the world. So make sure you check the description below so that you can video hop and see what other demonstrators around the world come up with for the theme of sketch challenge. For me, I am going to be using some fun stamp sets. So this is the Nature Symphony stamp set. Going to be using some of the images from here and also that greeting there. I'll be using the dies, which look like that. I'll be using this die and that one for this particular card. I will also be using the exposed brick embossing folder. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see. Oh, yes, you can see it there. Sorry about my light there, my ring light. And in addition to that, I'm going to be using my all-time favorite stylish shape dies. I feel like I am always using these. I'm going to use the circle from here and also the label. So that's what we will be working with today. Also, I have this beautiful paper here that I'm going to be using, and this is part of the Nature Walk DSP. It's 12 by 12, lots of beautiful colors. You can see, yeah, it's like a bordered oil painting is more of what it looks like. How beautiful is that? Look at all these colors. And then we have some checks, some boxes there, or grid. I guess that's more of a grid paper. And then this looks like some dabs of paint. And this one. And then if I flip them over, you get to see the reverse side. Beautiful, nice and dark colors. I love the script on that one. Look at that beautiful color there. You can see all the different shades or variations of this color. And then look at this, how beautiful. And this one. So for my card, I am going to be using those papers, and I'm also going to be using Old Olive. So this is what my card is going to look like to follow this theme, this sketch here. So sketches are fun because you don't have to do, it makes it easier. You know what you're going to be creating. So you have the outline. You just have to go find your papers, find your sentiment, and you're good to go. All of these items are available for sale now. Many of them are for a discount, at a discount purchase price right now. So you do want to check online if you don't already own these items to get them for a much cheaper cost at this point. The only thing that's not available are these right here. They are called the faux bronze pentagons. They are not available, but you could find some other kind of embellishments for your card if you want to recreate this. So we are going to jump right on in. Let me move these things out of the way. I think I'll leave my card there. I'm going to start off with my Old Olive card base. This is the card base. It measures at 5.5 by 8.5, and I scored it at 4 1/4. Just going to bring my edges together and line them up, and then burnish my score line here, just like that. And I already went ahead and embossed this piece to go on top. And remember, this piece is using the exposed brick 3D embossing folder. So that's where that comes from. And this measures at 4 inches by 5 1/4. So I'm just going to use some liquid glue. Just going to put that there. I like using liquid glue when I am adhering an embossed piece. It helps to get into all the nooks and crannies. And then additionally, it also gives me that wiggle room time. When you use liquid glue, you have just a little bit of time to move it around to make sure it's where you want it to be. And then you want to just hold it down to make sure it stays in place. Okay, we have that part of the card ready. So now I'm going to grab these two pieces. So this is the DSP that comes from, I'll show you the big sheet. And I was trying to decide where to cut it. So this is the sheet it comes from, and I wanted to get some of this green in there and some of this blue, and I wanted to get some of that blue, but I didn't get a lot of it. But I felt like the green was more important since my cards base is with the green. So that's where that came from, and then the back looks like that. So this piece is measured at 2 5/8 by 4 1/8. I don't know if that comes up. There you go. 2 5/8 by 4 1/8. And then this piece, this is, now I can't, Lost Lagoon, it is measured at 4 1/4 by 3. So I am going to just put some adhesive on the back of this piece here. Oops. And I'm going to adhere it to this piece with the green at the top. And it would not have been a big deal if I did it upside down, because I could always just turn it around. So there we go. So this is going to get layered on here, but before I do that, I want to add my circle, because in the sketch, which I moved away, let's bring that sketch back over. The sketch has a circle there. So I cut out this circle with the stylish dies, and I am going to adhere it sticking off of this piece just like that. So we're going to put some adhesive on here. We can get this one rolling around. It's sticky once it works. Let's do a little bit more. And I am going to put it here and let it stick off some. And I need to find my scissors. Here they are. Put my notes back so I can remember everything. And I'm just going to turn this over here. My scissors are acting crazy. Come on. I'll just turn it around. And I want to cut this piece off. Just like that. So now I do not need that scrap. So this piece is going to go onto my card base, but I'm going to use some dimensionals just to give it a little bit of height, a little bit of dimension. So using regular dimensionals. Just like this, and I like to use a lot of them. All right, and then we are going to take our backings off. And I just peel them off like that. I know some people use their take your pick tool to take them off. Sometimes it works for me and sometimes it doesn't. Okay. I keep checking to make sure I'm in the screen so you can see me. All right, I'm going to center this on my card, just like that. So you can see how I am following the sketch. I like it so far. And I need to stamp some pieces. So I'm going to use some Very Vanilla. I believe it's still called Very Vanilla. Yes. Okay. I'm going to use some Very Vanilla, and I'm going to stamp a few things. To a Great Guy, and then also those two pieces of greenery. So let me open this up. I'm going to move my sketch to the side. I need 2 of these. So 1, 2, and I also want to stamp my words, To a Great Guy. And I'm going to stamp that. Where do I have the most room? I think I'll do it here. To a Great Guy. Okay, so now is when I would take out my dies and I would lay them on there, put it through the cut and emboss machine. But to save some time, I went ahead and did it already. The ink that I used was Pretty Peacock. I don't know why I used Pretty Peacock. I should have used, well, because of this, yeah. I was trying to decide between Pretty Peacock and Secret Sea. So I did stamp one in Secret Sea and I put it on there, but I just thought it didn't have enough Secret Sea anywhere to make it go well. So that's why I went with the Pretty Peacock. So what I'm going to do now is I am going to add these pieces here. I'm going to put one like this and one there. I'm just going to use some liquid glue. Get my silicone mat here. Put a little bit of liquid glue on them. There we go. All right. And some of it's going to be hidden under the message, but that is okay. All right, so I'm going to take the first one and I'm going to make this one sort of stand up a little bit. And this one, I'm going to make it sort of curve around here, just like that. And then hold them down. The next thing I'm going to do is I already went ahead and used this die, this one here. And what it does is it just punctures holes in your paper. It does not really cut out that shape. So then I went and I just cut around it. So this is probably about 3/4 of an inch by, let's see, by 3.5. So 3.5 inches this way by 3/4 of an inch. And that's what I chose to use. And I am going to adhere that right here. And I'm just going to use some liquid glue again. And it's tricky because of all the little holes. So most of my liquid glue is over here on the edge where there aren't any holes. And it sticks off there, so I'm not going to go too far over. But I can put some down here and up there. And I think that is good. So I'm going to take this piece and flip it over and put it there. And I know it's not straight. I don't always like to put things on straight. Sometimes I do, like, of course, like this background or this layer is straight. But when I am putting my little sentiments on, I like to give them a little bit of a slant. This one I'm going to put mini dimensionals on. I'm going to use some mini dimensionals for this one. And I think I'm going to use 3 of them. Okay. And take that off. We are getting close to the end, people. All right, those are there. One more. Okay. And then I'm going to just slant this one a little bit like that. It says, "To a great guy." And we want to put some of these faux bronze pentagons on. And like I said, if you don't have these already, you can use any kind of gems that you do have. You don't have to use exactly what I have, but just showing you how it could look. All right, come on, friend. Sometimes it doesn't want to come up. Okay, this is going to be the most interesting part of come off. Now it's got that on there. Oh, lovely. All right, we're just going to stick it on there. Maybe I need a little bit more on here. Okay, the next one's going to come off perfectly. Here we go. There we go. I'm going to put one here and come off easy, please. There we go. Just like that. So we are almost done. I do want to add something to the inside, so I forgot to write out the measurements for this one. I think that this one is, I think we should just measure it. Let me find out. This one is 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. So 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. And this one is going to be like 1/8 smaller probably, or no, actually it's a whole quarter smaller. So this is 3 by 4, and this is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, and it just layers on nicely like that. So we're going to get some adhesive. And this is for our inside piece so that you can write a nice message. So I'm going to put that here. And then I decided to do a tearing paper technique. So I cut this at 3 inches. Nope, that's probably 4 inches. Let's see if it's right there. So I'm going to say that that is, yep. So this is 4 inches. And then I just tore it towards me, and it just gives you that white effect there if you tear it towards yourself. I'm going to put some adhesive here. And adhere that to the edge here so that we can make our inside look nice and cute. Some adhesive on the back. Come on, roll you around. Okay. And it goes right in here. Just like that. So, here are our cards. To a great guy. And that is using the Stamp Around the World sketch that we are using for April. So remember to check the description for videos from other demonstrators from around the world so that you can see their creations using this sketch. And I can't wait to watch their videos to see what they came up with to get more ideas for myself. So subscribe to my channel so that you will get notified whenever, well, subscribe and then hit the bell icon so that you can get notified whenever I upload more videos. And I can't wait to share with you next month with a whole new theme. So thanks for watching. From me to you. Happy stamping.